So I can tell you that in the past month, I've actually had some meetings with prospective tenants to kind of talk about what capital money they would be bringing to it. Clearly, there's an acquisition piece to this that still has to be worked out. And then from a design perspective, I've got our master contract engineering team, HDR, looking at potential site laydowns. So instead of just talking about it, we're actually moving forward in terms of planning to it while we await kind of the acquisition piece, which I think in the next month to two, we'll start to clarify in terms of pace and time. From a funding perspective, I've got really on tap, expecting over the next couple of years, $15 million from DOT. Again, promised not given yet. And once we have the property, and that will allow us to really start to get moving forward in terms of actual design. We've had discussions with CSX on their side on how we kind of merge into their rail yard, which is the point of this. And the key is that it's you call it a hybrid intermodal logistics facility, right? So you've got I-10, you've got the airport, Matt and his team behind me, and then you've got the port with Class 1 rail. And so to your question specifically on volume and vision here, it's really about the ability to move additional cargo off and store cargo up. And so I don't see necessarily throughput growing to the point where we're running trains all day. Clearly, that's not supportable, and it doesn't fit with the downtown. Right now, we cross 3 times a week in the evenings, right? And so additionally, what I think initially is going to happen, more of a proof of concept and build it, they will come piece, is that we will have tenants on there from an industrial side that are doing work related to the port or other industries around here, as well as additional storage and laydown that can support GE cargo. So in other words, it wouldn't have to come via rail to the port and sit. It could go up there, or via truck to there. It doesn't have to come down to the port. Right? And so we have space on current rail lines where we could store additional cars. So I think, and Councilman Barrett asked this previously in a session, was, instead of running 10 cars across Main Street at a pop, maybe it's 20. So there's a little bit additional time, but there's still not that every day there's trains running up and down Tarragona. So I understand that. From a maximizing capacity, we just haven't done any real study on usage yet, if that answers your question.
It does in some ways, but I guess from a number standpoint, and obviously you need a piece of property. So where are we going with that? And
I was
where's
going to tag team this on the funding and interest. And
right.
Hey, we got an idea. How do we execute side? And it underscores, as you can tell, Lance and Shep and Kevin do an awesome job of bringing all these grants in, getting them managed. So we have an amazing team there. I will say this. Pretty much every conversation, correct me, Lance, if I'm wrong on your side, but every conversation we've had with U.S. Commerce, state level, military, Bird On, and everybody else, there's a strong, aggressive consensus about the value and the support of an inland port. So I can't even think of a conflicting opinion or even a neutral opinion about that idea. Well, a lot of those different ones I just named can bring funding, and we've had specific funding conversations.
Okay.
We have a meeting next week in addition to that that we've asked for with Escambia County as it pertains to some of the acreage that they own in the Midtown Commerce Park area. I think that has the potential to be an enormous community win. There's an underutilized piece of property for a long time that I know since well before I was in this job that Commissioner May has said we are going to create jobs with that property. I couldn't think of a better opportunity to take 60 acres and make it 90 and have a facility like that won't just be Bird On and lay down for GE. There will be other jobs that will be created solely on the inland port. So, I mean, you're talking about hundreds of additional jobs, revenue, the rail spur that helps take some pressure off of downtown. There's just so many wins there. So I'm very encouraged right now of just about the team of supporters really being arm in arm and all of the key stakeholders. And so we feel very bullish about that because we feel like there's funding opportunity there. There's the want to there. And now it's just doing it right. So I think this year will be a lot of aggressive movement on seeing how we make that happen.
And I assume Florida West is involved to help potential
I've had conversations with Mr. Platte.
They're involved because I think they can help with the county piece and all. They're actively working in Commerce Park for sure. So there's definitely
And we have a meeting next week. Next week, right? Yeah. With Commissioner May, county staff, others, city staff, just kind of around this whole idea of what's the highest and best use around that area.